What's good, everybody? It's your boy Eddie here, and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And for today's video, we have a sneaker that just came out this week and that I personally think is going to be super slept on. And with that being said, please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below as well as that notification bell. And one thing that I want to quickly mention, guys, is that we are currently at 2,900 subscribers, and my main goal at the beginning of this year was to hit 3K subscribers. So please be sure to share with your friends and your family, because all that type of stuff definitely helps the channel grow. With that being said, guys, what we have right here is none other than the Kith and New York Knicks / Madison Square Garden X New Balance 990 V6. And I love this sneaker, I love the silhouette, and I love the colorways that's going on. But the reason why I think that this sneaker is going to be super slept on is due to the fact that we are currently in the fall season. And if this was actually to release more into the spring, summertime, this will go super crazy because we have more of those light colors going on. And of course, with New Balance sneakers, you already know it's gonna fit super comfortable and you're gonna have a nice ride with your sneakers. So now let's just briefly go into the box details. And I love the way that they actually constructed this box. And shout out to New Balance and Kith, because the quality of this box is super amazing. So I just want to go over this detail pretty quickly. So as you can see right here, we do have that Madison Square Garden logo right there. And you do have it in this kind of nice print that kind of replicates a tile. Of course, they're not putting tiles on a sneaker box, but I love how that looks a lot. And definitely is very reminiscent of going to a train station, and you would just see that back at 34th Street, 42nd Street, or any of the other primetime areas in New York City that you can reach via train. So once you go into this side of the box right here, you can see that made in USA for over 75 years detail. And right below that, you can see that it says Madison Square Garden. So something quickly to note is that I'm calling it the New York Knicks, but the main name for the colorway is MSG. But of course, the biggest thing in MSG is obviously the New York Knicks, and that's why the sneaker follows suit with that colorway. And once you go into this side of the box, you can read the sticker tag right there. And it's kind of different with the naming convention compared to Nike. So instead of having a name or title for the shoe, it just has different codes. So this says U990KN6. Obviously the 990 V6 is the 990 there. And I went with a true to size of a size 8. So something to note with these New Balance 990 V6s, I definitely recommend to go true to size. I feel that if you go a half size down, it would be too tight, and a half size up, it would be too big. So just stick with a true to size. And then once you open this box, you are actually greeted with this nice Madison Square Garden dust bag right here. And I love that detail. It's something very nice, and your shoes will be able to fit in it, or anything else that you would want to put in there, which again is a great feature. And then you also have this Madison Square Garden wax tissue paper, which is pretty nice. And you do have some Kith and NB logos, which is a pretty cool detail. And then finally, you are greeted with this extra pair of white laces. But personally for me, if I were to keep these shoes, I would just keep the stock laces on because they are tough. They have that kind of beige or tan color and just overall fits with the whole vibe of the sneaker. So now when focusing onto the history of the shoe, guys, is actually pretty simple. So if you guys are not familiar with the origins of Kith, it was actually founded in New York City back in 2011, right next to the Atrium store. And basically Kith was always meant to be a successful brand. Let's just put it like that. And Ronnie Feig is a big hustler, a big creator, a big innovator, and he really did his thing. And that is how Kith was able to actually grow into this big brand that we know today. From what I've heard from the people that know him, he's one of the hardest workers ever. And he doesn't sleep. He literally lives for this brand, and you can actually see that through the success of the brand itself. And then when looking into the collaborations, he always has a story to tell. Literally with every sneaker, every clothing, apparel collaboration, there's a story to tell with it. And with this Madison Square Garden or New York Knicks story, it's pretty self-explanatory. The brand was founded in New York City, and back in 2013, he actually did do a New York City colorway with the A6 Gelite 3, but of course, that's a different brand from New Balance. But I want to say that the partnership between Kith / Ronnie Feig and Madison Square Garden / Knicks started more so back in the fall of 2020. That's when Dipset came out, so you saw Cameron, Jim Jones, and them actually performing in the garden doing a nice acapella rap. And I think that's where the true partnership started. And ever since 2020 till now, we've been getting different type of brand collaborations between the Kith brand and Madison Square Garden / the Knicks. Because of course, when repping for the Knicks, you're always gonna get that blue and orange colorway. And that is very prominent within the sneaker right here, as well as some other details. So pretty much with that being said, guys, that's gonna conclude all the history of the shoe. So now in focusing onto the details of this sneaker, it is a made in USA New Balance sneaker. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, that means it's pretty much gonna have the most premium quality, premium details with good quality craftsmanship. And I can just look at this with no worries and be assured that this sneaker is full of quality. When focusing onto the toe box right here, you can see that we have this beige mesh detail, and then onto the right side of that where your big toe would be, you have a 3M hit. Also, something to note about this New Balance 990 V6 is that we have these nubuck or durabuck panels that overlay onto the mesh, and they're perforated with holes for more breathability. Then when focusing onto the mudguard of the shoe, it is in this light beige colorway or tan color, and it does have that backstroke motion, and I already knew that was gonna happen because of course the quality is immense when it comes to made in USA New Balance sneakers. Then when moving towards the top of the tongue, you can see that we have that orange and silver NB logo, and surprisingly the 3M portion of this shoe is not what you think it is. It's not the silver portion that's 3M, it's actually the orange detail that's in that kind of light 3M coating, which I think is a very fire touch. And when we look at the laces right here, you can see that it is in that beige colorway. Then once we go towards the top of the tongue tab, you can see that we have that New Balance 990 V6 logo and the New York Knicks colorway. So it is in that nice orange and blue. Then when we go into the lateral side of the shoe, you can see that it is primarily in that beige colorway, but I do love that because the orange and blue tends to stick out now since the overall colorway of the silhouette is pretty simple. So when we actually look at that New Balance N logo, again, what is 3M would actually surprise you. So it's not only this white or silver detail that is on the outline of the N, but it's also that orange detail within the N that actually has a 3M hit to it. Then when we look at the side panels, you can see on the eyelet area, we do have some gray suede right there, and then some gray suede right below it. And when moving on from this gray panel, you can actually see that this detail right here, which is printed onto the shoe, does have the 990 logo on it. And once we go into the back area now, you can actually see that it says New Balance Made in USA, which again is to show that this is a high quality shoe. And what I also love about it is that it does have the New York Knicks colorways on those small details, which is a pretty nice touch. Then when moving on to the medial side of the shoe, the same thing pretty much follows suit. So you do have the orange hits, the blue hits, the kind of beige and gray details, and overall I think this is a very nice shoe. One more thing that I want to mention about this side of the shoe is the fact that it does have this beautiful insole right here. So we do have that nice firm New Balance insole, but it does say Madison Square Garden right there. Then when focusing onto the midsole of the shoe, you can see that we do have that beautiful thick end cap New Balance 990 V6 midsole. And then when going onto the outsole of the shoe, you can see that we have it in this beige colorway as well. But something else I want to note is the fact that right here we do have a fusel detail, and then we do have an endurance detail. That detail is pretty much there to guarantee you that your outsole is going to be durable and last for a very long time. One more detail that I want to mention is on this side of the shoe, which pretty much is the insole of it, but instead of having that MSG logo, we do have that NB logo with the Feig on the side. And as I mentioned his name several times, Ronnie Feig is the creator and founder of Kith. And with that being said, guys, that's pretty much going to conclude all the details of the Kith and New Balance 990 V6 in the Madison Square Garden colorway. So definitely let me know what you guys think about this sneaker in the comment section down below. And now let's get right into this on for a look, alright? So that's gonna conclude the review as well as the on-full look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for y'all. Definitely let me know what you think about the New Balance 990 V6 and Kith collaboration in the New York Knicks colorway. Definitely I think it's a cool shoe, but it's definitely gonna be something that is more of a spring summer sneaker in my opinion. But again, I wanna know what y'all think, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Y'all already know the rest because we are on the road to 3K, and without y'all help, I'm nothing. So I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.